Donna Bush with your CIGTV News Update. Premier the Honorable Alden McLaughlin was invited to give the keynote address at the annual Cayman Alternative Investment Summit on Thursday morning. This year's two-day event examined the impact of digital disruption and other key trends changing the shape of the industry with its theme, Tectonic Shift, Innovation and Alternative Investments.
Forgive me for saying unashamedly, there is no place on earth quite like the Cayman Islands. In 60 years, Cayman's GDP has grown to over $4 billion US. The island's population has grown to over 64,000, as citizens from more than 130 countries have been drawn to be part of our economic miracle. Taken together, those two data points put Cayman in the world's top 10 of nations ranked by per capita income. Our economic miracle may have had divine assistance, but it certainly does also have distinctly man-made origins. It has been achieved through far-sighted decision-making, entrepreneurial spirit, and government's willingness to innovate in support of business and economic activity.
Now, the Day One agenda was based around anchoring to a digital future, and topics included tectonic shifts and insights from Antarctica, a quantum shift, humans versus machines, and the march of artificial intelligence and alternative data. Friday, February 8th is the last day of the two-day summit, where discussions will focus on challenges and opportunities, populism and globalization. Some planned talks there are preparing for a turbulent phase in the global economy, business innovation and transformation on global, digital, millennial, and investors' perspective. This year's keynote speakers, actress Natalie Portman, while magician David Blaine provided entertainment to the room filled with attendees. Finally, we end with the birthday celebration for East End residents Miss Ina Victoria Connor, who turned 100 years old this week.
Birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Miss Ina. Happy birthday to you.
Miss Ina was given a note congratulating her for having reached a significant milestone from His Excellency Governor Martin Roper. Attending the celebration were loads of family, friends, caregivers, and East End residents. Now, the East End matriarch celebrated with cake, candles, and cheer at Sunrise Cottage residential home. That was last Friday, where kind words were shared by many about the centenarian.
Miss Ina has always been a very kind and gentle and compassionate person in this district. And God rewards that. God rewards that. And I believe if we practice that, then we will be rewarded also. Miss Ina, congratulations, happy birthday, and may you see many more.
I've never been here and not seen her looking as smart as she is, smiling, or reading her Bible, or the girls making her pretty. And I'm hoping and praying she will live to see many more. Miss Ina, God bless you. You will continue to strive in here. The staff, I know, will continue to take very good care of you.
AGIS press release notes that well-wishers marveled that Miss Ina could still read her daily Bible lesson without wearing her glasses. She's also been described as a Christian lady with a great sense of humor. We wish Miss Ina a belated happy birthday. And that ends today's news update here on CIGTV. If you missed it, you can go to the Cayman Islands Government Facebook page as well as the CIG Television YouTube channel. I'm Donna Bush, as always, wishing you a safe and wonderful night and inviting you back here again tomorrow. Until then, bye-bye for now.
Boating, fishing, and water sports in the Cayman Islands are great, but keep a cool head. Here are 7 tips for fun and safe sea outings. Number 1. Use a checklist to plan your outing. Check the weather forecast, make a float plan, and share it with someone who is remaining on land, stating where you're going, with whom, and when you're expected to return. Visit your nearest marine supply store to get your safety gear. This includes signaling mirrors, whistles, and a flare kit. It's also very important to have onboard flotation devices and life vests for each person. There are different types of vests. Some are for water sport activities such as snorkeling, and others are for going on offshore boating or on fishing trips. Number 2. These items can be lifesavers in case of an accident or bad weather. Number 3. Use a motor kill switch, especially if you're boating alone. In case of a leak or breakdown, always stay with the boat until help arrives. If you capsize, an emergency beacon or locator device can send a distress signal to inform the authorities of your location. Larger flares will indicate distress to a boat, airplane, or search and rescue officials. Number 4. In addition to sunscreen, food, and beverages, it would be smart to have a cell phone. Make sure your marine radio works. Cayman boaters use Channel 16 to communicate. Number 5. Also, don't forget your anchor and sufficient rope. Number 6. Boat operators should be familiar with the local waters and reefs, as well as the capabilities and functions of the vessels they are using. Always obey the rules of the sea and the marine environment, and have courtesy for others. Number 7. Alcohol and salt water do not mix, especially if you're the captain. Some useful contact numbers are 911. The RCIPS Marine Base is 649-7710, and the Port Authority is 949-2055. Smooth sailing, all!
I'm Jody Ann Fowry. I'm the Police Media Officer with the RCIPS, and I'm here to give you some crime prevention tips on how to best protect your property. The first thing that we want to discuss is our points of entries. Let's start with the front door, and then we'll move on to the windows and the back doors or sliding glass doors. The first thing to consider is the front door. This particular front door has 2 deadbolt locks. One of these deadbolt locks are properly carpentered and the other is not. When your door is properly locked, you'll hear a click at the end and the deadbolts are not able to move. If it is slightly opened, then you can push the deadbolt back without having any restrictions. I'll now proceed to show you what your lock should look like when it is properly locked. When it comes to your windows, you want to make sure that your window is locked all the way down, because even though the lock is on, if it's not all the way down, it can still be pried. The proper way to lock the window is to make sure that the window goes all the way down to the seal and then you pull across the lock. When you have a sliding glass door at home, you want to make sure that you have secondary locking devices in addition to the lock that comes with the door. One of those can be a simple piece of wood that's jamming the doorway. We want to encourage you to ensure that you don't make things easy for burglars who are looking for opportunities to break into property by leaving your property out in plain view. Some of these items are your car keys, your electronics, and your handbags. Make sure that you put these properties away when you're leaving the house or when you're going to bed. When you're going camping or if you're taking your family on a trip, you want to ensure that your property has some sign of life. This can be done by leaving a light on or putting timers on your lights. And we want to ensure that our family homes are safe. In order to do so, we encourage that people take the proper precautions by starting up neighborhood watches or encouraging family members or persons they trust to check on their properties while they're away.